Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is Tuesday, 23rd of December 2025 and I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
And I'm Wed Badawi, and for today's show, first up we're discussing how Kalshi by the Lebanese founder Tariq Mansour has added Binance's BNB for deposits and withdrawals. Ronaldo, the Al Nassr forward and the football star, has bought luxury villas at Saudi Arabia's Red Sea destination, and the U.S. Watchdog has reviewed an ethics probe requesting analyzing the UAE's chip export deal and its ties with Trump officials.
How are you, Worth?
I'm good. It's freezing.
Yeah,
it's
cold. Actually very freezing. Everyone is sick. It's just dying. Going on. I think hospitals are full. My son is sick. We have a lot of people who are sick in the office. It's just that season. It's the season of tourism, a lot of stuff, but I think it rained, and what I've realized over the years, because Pakistan in Karachi, we have a lot of rains. Whenever it rained, some new viral started spreading. I think it's a medical phenomena, but good for hospitals. They're making that 20%, 50 dirham fee. But yep, that's happening. But Kalshi, one of the newest found obsession of ours by the Lebanese founder, it's continuing its expansion beyond traditional finance rails, and they've announced new support for BNB deposits and withdrawals as it deepens its push into on-chain markets.
Now, BNB, also known as Binance Coin, is the native cryptocurrency of the BNB chain ecosystem created by Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange. Now, this update allows users to move funds in and out using BNB.
And with BNB Smart Chain now live, domestic Kalshi users can deposit and withdraw BNB and stablecoins directly, while international users can access BSC through connected exchange accounts such as Binance and Coinbase.
Now, Kalshi says the integration opens new pathways for on-chain liquidity to flow into what is called the world's largest prediction market, supporting BNB, USDT, and USDC while reducing reliance on legacy banking rails. I think with this entire story, it's so interesting to see the rise of Kalshi.
Yes.
They've actually been around for quite a while now, and just very recently they raised $1 billion, valuing them at $13 billion. I believe one of their investors was Sequoia Capital, who was a part of the round. But I think it's so interesting. First, you have the CNN. They partner with the CNN. Then you have CNBC, and then now you have Binance. It's just, for me, when I take a look at this entire story, Majid, I truly do think that these prediction markets, they're almost creating like a new industry.
Yes.
Because it's like the ever-ending possibilities that they can be applied to is just absolutely crazy.
Yes.
And I was asking Majid before the show, like, what does this mean? Because this is a prediction market platform where you basically bet on events. Like, how is Binance actually being integrated into this? And Majid is quite the crypto guy, so I think he's going to explain this much better than me.
I try to learn about crypto. It's a very complicated market to understand, but very simply what will happen is it's a prediction market. You bet on whether it's going to change, it's going to rain, who is going to win, this, that. The thing that Word said, it's very interesting because one of the crypto experts and Binance CEO, Richard Teng, he recently was at a lot of events in Abu Dhabi. Binance became fully registered in ADGM now, the first ever full, incorporation of a crypto firm in ADGM. It's like historic. That is where he's talked about prediction markets as well. I didn't share that clip because it's very complicated and technical to understand, but very simply he said that it's going to kill the sports betting market. So sports betting market is a very big multi-million-dollar industry. There's so many big players who are in the market, and they do betting sites, and you can bet on cricket matches, football matches, everything, and it's legal in the Western world. In UK is a very big market for football betting. Then every country, nearly the Western world, has betting, and it's legal. The thing about it is that prediction now also includes sports. So why would you go to a sports betting site when you can go to a prediction market site like Kalshi or Polymarket and bet on literally anything. So it's giving people a new flavor. One point that it is a very big market which is coming to the front now. Everyone is talking about prediction markets. Also, Kalshi founder, I remember, Word said that he very clearly stated that people don't trust the news because news states what had happened. They report, even if they're reporting live, there is at least a 10-second lag where they're like, okay, rain happened, this happened, that happened. And people don't trust legacy media now. Elon Musk is one of the biggest haters of legacy media. But the idea is that people are going into predicting the future and then making money out of it also.
And making news out of it.
And making news also. It's very good for polls also. Like Polymarket, I remember me and Rich were on the show and I gave him one example about the Warner Brothers, the whole deal. So people betting on Netflix winning the thing was 90%. That Netflix will 100% finalize, completely overtake Warner Brothers in 2026 before the end of it. It was 90%. Then Paramount came in with 108 billion deal and their chances came down to 60%. Then Paramount was reported to bullishly go in and tell the shareholders that we're going to give you more money for your money. And then it came down to 20%, Netflix winning. So they are betting on the future now, and I think that makes sense for a lot of people. Betting at the end of the day, Islamically is illegal. It's illegal in UAE and all the Muslim countries as well. But West is all in for betting. It's been legal for I don't know how many decades now. So for that market, it's very big, obviously. Here, I don't know, it'll take some time. Maybe they'll never come. Maybe people will be using VPNs to do it from here. It's a very thing. Again, VPNs are also illegal in the UAE, using VPNs, but people will eventually find a way, or they'll tell their cousin in the UK to do it for them.
But you know,
like it happened with, just to connect it to Bitcoin, there was a point when a lot of countries didn't have access to exchanges. They couldn't trade Bitcoin. So they would give money to their cousins or their friend who had a cousin in the US. So they would trade Bitcoin and everyone takes 5% of the profits. And then eventually you make money out of it. So it's kind of a trust circle thing that happens in all of this. This basically is very easily explained. BNB is the cryptocurrency, native cryptocurrency of Binance. What you can do is take your hard fiat money, put it into Kalshi and convert it into BNB. Like you buy BNB basically. And or if you have an account on Binance, if you have an account on any exchange and you've bought BNB, like you buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the crypto, if you've bought BNB, you can just literally transfer your BNB to Kalshi now and use that BNB to...
But what I basically wanted to say, Majid, is it's so crazy. You know, you mentioned the news, right?
Yeah.
And on my Instagram, I kid you not, I watch the news sometimes through Kalshi and Polymarket.
Nice.
Their news is so great.
Yeah.
And they have memes. They're so tabloid-like. And it's, for me, with Kalshi, it's really telling of how I think the media conversation is changing.
Yeah.
And bear with me with this. I know that it's a prediction market, but it's almost crazy that for them to make the amount of profit that they need to make, that it basically needs to be this combination of them telling news, so then you can bet on it. And I was watching this interview with Tariq Mansour.
Yeah.
The Lebanese founder. He was actually born in Lebanon, and he was basically saying that for the longest time ever, he was obsessed with creating the perfect product.
Yeah.
That's what really mattered, the perfect betting platform, and then he realized that really good marketing needs to come with it. And the point that I'm basically trying to make is marketing almost turning into news? Yeah. It's actually crazy because these brands, they don't realize it, but all this marketing that they're basically pushing out, it is news, it is media. It is media to people in the end of the day. And like you mentioned how, he came and said that people are distrustful of media news agencies. And it's, what it honestly made me realize, Majid? Honestly, media is not a money-making business. And look, I understand you work in media, I work in media.
Yeah, we make money.
We do.
Otherwise
but seriously, media
Yeah.
is not a money-making business. If you actually take a look at some of the
biggest
largest
ones.
media companies in the world, they always have a billionaire backer. If you actually look
And
at
they're always in loss sometimes. Whenever they like tell their
It's so
financials, they're in
crazy.
loss, right?
No, like if you take a look at it, like for example, Rupert Murdoch's empire, he has the Wall Street, the Sun, the New York Post. I don't actually think that they're making money. They're just being billionaire backed. The Washington Post. You know, when I tell people that Jeff Bezos owns it, they are so surprised.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. And then you have Naguib Sawiris, another one. He launched this Dubai media startup, Monify, at the end of last
Yeah.
year. Then they had like mass layoffs. Then he like appointed his daughter. But my point is here is to say
Even
that
his
it's
first venture into media, Sky
Euronews.
Euronews, sorry.
2015. He acquired 50% of it. Then it
Even
went
that
to
was a
80%.
loss-making business for him.
But-
But he sold it at a premium.
But
So
Magic,
he
it's-
made money, but no one else did.
It's kind of like that point of you
Yeah.
have these businessmen with like already great ventures.
Yeah.
Who come and they fund these media companies. These man, The Intercept keeps emailing me to tell me that they're broke, and I feel so bad. I'm like, guys, I can't help you.
When you go to the Guardian, every
so
article that you
funny.
read, at the end there's like, we do unfiltered, unbiased journalism. £1 would be good for us to keep doing it.
It's crazy.
The idea is media was never supposed to be a money-making business. If someone is making money through it, he's a genius. If someone is not 100%, they're not into it for money. They're into it for influence, and that's the biggest power of media you have right now. The only thing that disrupted all of this is, I would say, the individual casting thing, like influencers coming up, because we always had broadcasting. The term was broadcasting, like one channel, and it's broadcasting to 100 people. Now there is an individual who is casting to 100,000 people. So influencers rise, social media has rise, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube coming up with shorts. Like it's like a whole history of the last decade. All these things broke the news for legacy media. They did come back to it. Obviously, everyone is now doing reels. They're doing explainers. We do it also, like face to cameras. Everyone is trying to catch up on the trend. But the people who started it, the original influencers who started giving out news without any bias, their own opinions sometime, and they're very clear about it. You love that lady, what's her name?
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens, right? You listen to Candace Owens because you believe that she does her own research. She goes through a lot of procedures
no, she's just
to get.
funny. I think she's I think she
Okay,
has weird
like-
theories sometimes.
But again, see, you follow her for a reason. She maybe quotes like 5 articles from BBC, this. You can read all of them, right? But you trust her to read it for you. It's kind of like putting your trust in an individual and them building that repertoire, like, okay, I will read 10 articles for you, make a consensus, and give it to you. I'll give you an example of how this is. For a long decade, actually for a long century, the best thing you could do as a student or as a professional was get a PhD, right? How do you get a PhD? You write a thesis. You don't reinvent the wheel. You make a completely new thesis. You find something out either through quantitative methods or qualitative methods. I loved qualitative because you read 5 people's theories and come up with your own version of it. But for a long time, that was the case. You were considered a doctor, PhD, when you did all of that research and came up with something original. The individual casters, the influencers, they are doing that right now. They go and read, like we, Smashi Business, we read so many newspapers, right? We are on Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal is your specialty, I've realized. There's FT, there's every day I have at least like 10, 12 tabs that I have to open, like Bloomberg, AGBI, Arab News, Semaphore, they have a very nice Gulf section, the National Khalij, Gulf for the local news, then Economy Middle East, Forbes. All of these websites are open in front of us. What we're doing basically right now is we're doing the work of a PhD person who used to do that through a lot of book reading and research reading and would come up with something. Now we do that as media and individuals and as a company also. We collect all the information, package it nicely into small bites and give it to the people. And people love it.
You know what it is, Majid? What I'm basically trying to say is that because I remember a long time ago when I like told a teacher, I was like, hey, like I want to work in journalism because I know the influencers make money, but I feel like that's like another media sector. When I told her that, she was like, oh, like let me tell you something, journalists make peanuts. No, they do not. Not
They're
in
all
the Middle
depressed.
East. Not in the Middle East, and I feel like I saw that with the story of IMI.
Yeah.
So IMI, it's a media vehicle that is owned by this company that is owned by His Highness Sheikh Mansour. Now, what basically happened with IMI, we saw the entire Telegraph story. They basically, they tried to get a 15% stake through Redbird. It did not really work out because of staff pushback. There were a lot of different perspectives that were ongoing. But basically what happened is the Telegraph themselves came and announced that
they're being bought by Daily Mail now,
not just that, but also that the Mansour family, IMI, the Abu fund behind backing IMI, is basically now going to own a lot of British property.
Yeah.
And how did this actually happen? It's because of the fact that, in fact, for IMI to actually come and take that 15% stake in Telegraph, they were actually trying to save someone else. And I think it was the
Barclay family.
Yeah, the Barclay family.
People behind the Barclays
so,
Bank.
They needed help to actually get ownership again. So I believe IMI was financing them. They gave them loans. Now the Barclay family could not pay back these loans, but essentially what IMI did was that there was a clause. If you do not pay us back, we get these properties. And what happened? Now they're reclaiming these properties. They're getting them because the Barclay family could not give them the money that IMI financed them.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm basically trying to say. IMI owns, so many different media companies, Sky News Arabia, The National. There is a reason why everyone is getting their paychecks. These are the kind of leaders, these are the kind of billionaire backers, sovereign wealth funds that they have pushing them. And we also see that in Saudi Arabia with SRMG.
Yeah.
They're the owner of Arab News, Al Sharq Business, so many companies. And I believe that they're backed by PIF. Also, the MBC. Saudi Arabia's $1 trillion public investment fund bought a stake in it.
Yeah.
Listen, this might be great influence, but hey, we're all going to get our paychecks.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that. And this is why I said that media is not a money-making business. And it's why Love in Dubai specifically really stands out to me.
Yeah.
They've managed to really monetize the account, and their influence is absolutely unparalleled. So I think it's not many companies can do what Love in Dubai did.
Yeah, I think talking about our own company, but they've done one thing good. They had the first mover advantage. I think Rich came here and like 10 years ago we started Love in Dubai. It was very interesting. At that point there were not many pages who were doing this. Now we have like a bunch of them who are trying to get on the trend. Some of them are very late bloomers and they realize it can be monetized. But getting the first mover advantage is fine. People get it a lot in the world. You can make something and then lose it completely. But we recently saw OpenAI is going down the rankings, and Gemini is coming up in the ranks of better or more usage of LLMs. But continuing like doing the thing that you are famous for, being consistent with it, constantly doing it, and like being determined to not move away or pivot and all that. That's the real test of any first mover. If they keep doing what they're doing, they will make money eventually. Media is a very difficult business. Rich has said this like 100 times to us and on the show, that it's very difficult to make money, but if you can figure out how to keep moving with the trends, right? Like on TikTok, if you're an influencer, if you don't do the trends, you don't stay up. Likewise, media business, if you don't stay up with the trends, you're not going to survive.
And now Cristiano Ronaldo is certainly staying with the trends. Him and his partner Georgina have purchased 2 luxury villas at Nejuma, a Ritz-Carlton Reserve within Saudi Arabia's Red Sea residences, according to media reports.
And the private island homes are located around 26 kilometers offshore and are accessible only by boat or seaplane, placing the development firmly in the ultra-exclusive category aimed at high net worth global buyers.
Now, Nejuma features just 19 standalone villas designed to prioritize privacy, seclusion, and a close connection to nature. The resort forms part of the wider Red Sea International tourism development.
And speaking to the Saudi Gazette, Ronaldo described the destination as truly exceptional in every sense of the word, adding that he and Rodriguez, Georgina, felt a deep connection with this island and its breathtaking natural beauty.
Now, beyond luxury, the Red Sea project highlights sustainability. Now, they're targeting a 30% net positive environmental impact by 2040, and all Red Sea and Amala destinations are powered entirely by renewable energy. This entire story, it's so interesting, by the way, because I'm pretty sure that the Red Sea CEO has a Saudi citizenship.
Yeah,
I believe
now
his
he
name
has,
is
yeah.
John Pagano, and he has a Saudi citizenship because he's basically leading the Maldives, I would say, of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And out of these 19 villas, for Ronaldo to get 2 of them, that amount of wealth that he has basically acquired through being with Al Nassr for playing for Saudi Arabia, I think that it's completely inspiring.
Yeah, and also I think we covered Tourais a little bit. It was the first time it was happening in Saudi Arabia. It's kind of like a Arab travel market and has those feels. Tourais, he was like the first keynote speaker, and he said that I love Al Ula also. It's one of the places, mountain region. I've never been there. Rich has been there. He talks about it a lot. My wife Shahira has been there. She talks about it a lot.
How was her experience?
It's so nice. It's like the best place in Saudi Arabia, according to her. It's so serene, pristine, mountains, clouds, and
You
everything.
made it rhyme.
Yeah, it's a great place, and he loves that place apparently. And he was like, whenever I go there, the biggest thing again we talked about privacy and exclusivity for him. These people who wherever they go, they'll be asked for a selfie. This guy loved that place because he was like, no one came and asked me for a selfie. So this is the thing that Saudi Arabia is also building. We see a lot of things that Saudi is building for masses. The Riyadh season is one example. Everyone can go enjoy. It's for families, individuals, everyone. It's for the masses. But they are also building these exclusive places. Amala was mentioned throughout the story. Amala has a whole well-being resort which is being built. It is kind of like on the lines of Richard Branson's thing that we talked about. He has a whole place, an island, I think, where he does these wellness retreats. And Amala's wellness, the whole place that they're building, it's also like that. Just read it somewhere. So all these things are exclusive also. Saudi is not targeting that 1 million people come and spend 100 riyals each. They're also looking at people like 10 people who come and spend $1 million each. So it's a very nice mix. That is why this story is so important, that Ronaldo is staying in Saudi Arabia.
I think it's
Don't expect him to leave.
I don't think it's just him staying there. I think it's the fact of they've really gone ahead and developed the real estate market.
Yes.
And we've seen that with the property ownership laws that have been established. The fact that starting 2026, January, that is literally in like 2 weeks, now all foreigners can basically buy property in Saudi Arabia. And I believe except for if you're not a Muslim, you can't do it in Mecca and Medina. But it's that fact that they're putting so many laws, so many rules in place to advance every single possible sector that they have. And I think that's what I see it as. They have this exclusivity, these islands, but you can also buy a home. I think that I think it's really great.
The main idea is that Saudi Arabia have realized that real estate is a big money-making operation that they can run. Not saying in the negative sense, but it's one of the biggest markets in the world. UAE has a very big property market. I think if they wanted to take a page out of it, they're the best example right next to them. That is why I think one of the biggest moves that we see and like the biggest news that we do on Smashi Business, whenever we do something about Saudi property, obviously Dubai, UAE, Abu Dhabi property does also good, but numbers wise Saudi property news also does good because people are expecting it to cool down. Riyadh, yesterday there was a very interesting story I read that they sent out 10,000 homes. They did a lucky draw for the nationals, the citizens of Saudi Arabia. And they sold all those properties at like 84% discount. So in Riyadh, average property per square kilometer is $3,500. They sold it to the nationals, to the citizens for $1,500. It's like nearly half of the original price. So that way the market cools down, obviously. They put guardrails in place. That person cannot sell the property for 10 years.
Everyone can actually obtain some wealth. I remember
the Riyadh rent freeze also. We saw that also
It's so
5 years,
crazy.
right?
It's so crazy, and
I would love to live in Riyadh right now.
I was listening to this speech with Lubna Al Ulayim,
Oh, yeah.
the Saudi billionaire, first Saudi female billionaire, and she was basically saying that. After amassing the amount of wealth that she has amassed, the middle class are the backbone of Saudi Arabian society. And she said that the question that remains is how can we create more jobs for people?
Yeah.
And I think what she said, it's super necessary for people to be able to buy property at the prices that Majid is discussing. And that is improving people's livelihoods. It's allowing them to obtain stable wealth and opportunity to not just live in Saudi Arabia, but almost become locals. And I think that this is something so necessary.
Okay, and the next story is the U.S. State Department's Inspector General is reviewing a request from lawmakers to examine potential ethics violation involving Trump officials connected to the approval of advanced semiconductor exports, which includes the NVIDIA chips. According to a report by Semaphore, the review centers on whether proper ethics safeguards were followed during the decision-making process.
Now, the request was submitted by Senators Elizabeth Warren and Elisa Slotkin, who are urging scrutiny of Trump officials Steve Witkoff and David Sachs over their involvement in approving the exports.
And lawmakers allege that officials may have had conflicts of interest, citing reported cryptocurrency investments linked to the Gulf region while participating in national security decisions involving sensitive U.S. chip technology and international export approvals.
Now, the case has broader implications as Congress continues to debate cryptocurrency legislation and ethics standards. Lawmakers argue that transparency is critical when emerging financial interests intersect in government decisions tied to national security and strategic technology transfers. Now, I just want to put it out there. With this story, it doesn't really place the UAE under a negative limelight, but rather these two officials. So you have David and you have Steve Witkoff, which I'm sure many of you have seen his name in the Gaza plan that they're strangely concocting, that they're trying to build this smart city in Palestine. But beside the point, it puts both of them in bad limelight because basically what these two senators, their probe, what it's trying to do is basically say, have you approved these shipments because you two guys, you have your own personal interests in the UAE, your own personal investments. And I think that can definitely come into question here.
The main story behind it is, we did it on Smashi Crypto, good segue, we have Smashi Crypto, you should follow it. But what happened was that Abu Dhabi government bought $2 billion worth of USD1 stable coins. They're a stable coin which is dollar backed, so they're nearly the amount of $1 from World Liberty Financial. World Liberty Financial is a company by Steve Witkoff, who is like a big person in the government right now. And World Liberty Financial also, on their website and everywhere, they call Trump one of the biggest investors and backers of the company. So they're like, okay, Abu Dhabi invested $2 billion in World Liberty Financial through Binance. So maybe this was a personal deal. This is a business deal. This is not a national level or government to government deal. But they're like, maybe this is why we said yes to the chips export. But they have, and all these inquisitions, all these cases and all these going and forth, these are very normal in the UK. I think the senators don't have anything to do this, so they keep doing this stuff. Yeah, to be honest, whenever I see...
I didn't expect that. No, but I agree
it's
with
very
you.
interesting. A lot of senators, when I see them, whenever there's Senate hearings and you see clips of them and parts of them, sometimes they look so lost. Like Xiao, one of the most famous one, my favorite one is Xiao Zhu, the TikTok guy, the TikTok CEO. He's sitting in front of senators and they're like, okay, so are you Chinese? And he's like, no, I'm Singaporean. I have a Singaporean passport. So do you have any connections to the Chinese party? He's like, no, I'm Singaporean. I live in Singapore. My passport and my whole life is in Singapore. And then he goes like, okay, so any of your family members have connections to the Chinese family? He's like, no, my wife is Singaporean, has a Singaporean. He goes on, keeps telling him, I'm not Chinese, I'm Singaporean. And that guy keeps pushing, okay, so have you ever dealt with the Chinese? He's like, no, I'm Singaporean. We deal with So that is sometimes when you see these clips, you're like, do they actually like know what they're doing?
No, you're
So
right.
these things keep happening.
You know, Majid, I agree with you, because if you actually take a look at it, in the beginning of the year, when we had all of these American billionaires and Donald Trump come visit the Middle East during May, I'll never forget it. And you know, Donald Trump, he was given this beautiful performance in the UAE, and he met with the president. And they announced Stargate UAE. At that same time, that's when they announced that the UAE would receive a shipment of 500,000 NVIDIA chips. Now, this was promised to them. This was this huge, lavish, large announcement that was announced. The UAE is going to get these numbers. And in fact, the UAE is only getting 20% of it. The rest of it is going to American companies. They announced this. So what I don't understand is why then we kept getting reports of delayed shipments, and then now you have Steve Witkoff. Oh, he's doing it for his personal interest, but they announced that they're doing it anyway. So I understand what you're saying in the sense of like, what are they doing? Because are you just like going round and round? Like it doesn't make sense.
There was a very interesting comment that they have nothing better to do on our post, and it's basically 35,000 chips for Humane also. So if they're doing an inquisition, there's a lot of things happening in Saudi Arabia. It's just that they're trying to nullify the goodwill that has been created between UAE and US in the last year. When Mr. Trump visited, he went to Saudi, he went to UAE, he went to Qatar. He created an environment where he told the world that this is the center, this is my first official trip. Officially, he went to the Pope's, the whole ceremony where he died and the new Pope was coming. But on a business or like a government to government or a presidential level, it was the Middle East that he came. And the very first time he became president back in the days, that is when also he chose Saudi Arabia. So he shows that it's not just his personal business things that are happening, the way he's getting a Trump Tower, Saudi is getting this, Qatar is getting this. It's not that. It's just that on a government-to-government level, UAE and US and Saudi Arabia and US and Qatar and US, they have to do business together. We've invested together, I think, over the next 4 years. Saudi just upped their money from 600 billion to 1 trillion over the next 4 years of Trump's rule. UAE 1.4 trillion for the next decade when His Highness Sheikh Tanoon went there at the start of the year. Qatar, they did a 550 something billion deal for, I think 300 something was only for airplanes, and the next rest of the money was for other deals. You have to realize that Trump is not coming here for his personal gains. He's coming here for the American economy, because the American economy needs this money, and it will create jobs, and a lot of companies from the US will come here and open their offices here, and they'll bring that talent here and they'll work here. And a lot of UAE based companies, the big companies, they'll go to the US, open up offices and create jobs. So I don't know why the conversation always goes toward like, no, it's a personal benefit that he's getting. It's actually a government to government interaction, and actually both of them benefit from this relationship.
You know what I also think it is, Majid? Like just to give these two senators just a bit more merit there, I think it's the fact that, you know, with Steve Witkoff, you see how involved he is in Palestine. Recently, we saw how the U.S. State Embassy basically responded on X, and they basically slammed this New York Post article that was saying that the U.S. is going to be building Gaza with $60 billion. They said that, no, we're not giving that number. So just to give these two senators, cut them a bit more slack. I understand their point in saying that Steve Witkoff does things for his own benefit, and we see it with Jared Kushner. But I think with specifically when we're talking about individuals and countries, you're definitely right. These are two different things. And I think as countries, I think Kevin Su, the Interconnected founder, he said it best. It's almost like the UAE is becoming the 51st state of AI in the US, and the impact is absolutely crazy. We're just going to go for a short break now. We have a really special guest coming in.
Hello everyone and welcome back. Joining us now on the Smashi Business Show is Hafez Bucket, the Chief Operating Officer at Traders Hub, a UAE licensed and SCA regulated brokerage operating at the center of country's fast evolving financial markets. In this conversation, we'll look at how regulation is shaping investor confidence in the UAE, how technology is changing the trading experience, and what today's digital first traders expect from modern market access. We'll also explore how the UAE's trading landscape is maturing from retail participation to professional and institutional activity, and what the next phase of market growth looks like. First of all, sir, welcome to the Smashi Business
Hi,
Show.
Abdul Good morning.
Yeah.
Hello, Ward. Good morning.
Thank
How are
you
you,
so
sir?
much.
I'm fine. I'm happy to be today on the Smashi Business. I
Yeah.
feel pleasure to be with you guys today.
Yeah, so the very first question, obviously, is begin, can you walk us through the founding story of Traders Hub? What it is it that you guys do? What is Traders Hub?
Actually, Traders Hub was founded in 2021, actually, in United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi headquarters. Our clear vision when we established Traders Hub to be a regulated company and the global financial institutions.
Nice.
That's why we work hardly to gain ESCA Category 1, actually, which will bring more sustainable and more protection for the client, especially for segregated bank account,
Nice.
for more regulation, more governance.
And what I wanted to specifically ask is that governance that you're talking about, these regulations, how do they give Traders Hub an edge over offshore brokers operating in the region?
Actually, by Traders Hub, we offer to our customer the regulated platform, MT5, and we offer to our client also client segregated bank account, so the client can feel safe when they sending money to Traders Hub.
Nice.
And we provide fastest withdrawal in the market, which is T+0.
Nice.
Yeah, we have multiple teams working on withdrawal in a very effective way.
Nice.
And also we are in our procedures, we are aligned with ISCA Category 1 and with our regulations, especially for risk and compliance and for all UAE rules.
And how do you see the gap in the market? When did you see the gap in the market? When did you realize that Traders Hub was needed? It wasn't like something that you wanted to do, it's like a need in the market.
Actually, for Traders Hub, we prepared the study in 2021 about the United Arab Emirates demand on the market.
Oh, nice.
And we'll see at this time, we noticed that there is only 2 to 3 companies in Abu Dhabi
Nice.
regulated for the CFDs brokers.
Okay.
That's why we discussed with our colleagues, it's the time now to build the Traders Hub.
Oh, okay.
And
That is
the Traders Hub is actually a unique name.
Yeah.
Traders Hub mean where all the traders can trade.
Yeah.
Because we are welcoming for all serious trader and all professional client, and we encourage him to work with the Traders Hub.
Nice.
So we've seen growing demand for multi-assets across the UAE. Where do you see the strongest appetite among your clients today?
Actually, the more demand in product in multi-asset classes, especially like Forex, CFDs, metal, indices as well also, and in crypto also.
Oh, nice. So you're doing crypto also?
Yes.
That's a very interesting.
Yeah, CFDs crypto, yeah.
That takes us to a different conversation. We'll have it, but how different are the regulatory environments across the Middle East, and how does it shape your expansion roadmap? Because I think you guys are planning to expand beyond your home turf. You want to go to other places. How do you cope with the regulatory environments and?
Yeah, currently we are announcing the Trust Center on the Traders Hub website. Trust Center actually it's explain everything about the client onboarding process with the Traders Hub. Now we have integration with the UAE Pass Authority, so all the onboarding process can finish within 3 minutes for the client.
Nice.
And also for the next month, our team now working on some digital screening process.
Oh.
So our customer can enjoy the client journey by everything will be automation.
Nice.
Without any hassle, without any delay for accepting the clients.
And we really want to know, is there any more locations that you guys want to expand into in the Middle East?
Yes, of course. Currently, Traders Hub in United Arab Emirates, as well also in Seychelles and St. Lucia. And our plan in 2026 to expand in GCC countries as well, and also in Jordan.
And you talked about it's mostly online. What technologies are you using? How do you safeguard the money? How do you safeguard everything? What technology? And also, if you can tell us about if there is AI involved.
Yeah, for Traders Hub, actually, we have solid technology system which we are using, especially for the Microsoft Dynamic and for the automation CRM for all the process, and for the animation website. That our website, alhamdulillah, for traffic on our website can accept 1 million visits per day.
Nice.
So we have solid technology to accept all these crowded area.
And we just want to talk to you further about UAE Pass.
Yeah.
Just discussing it. How has it really changed the acquisition journey for new clients that you're onboarding?
Actually, UAE Pass started in United Arab Emirates in I think 2018, 2019. And when we studied this idea, we noticed that the client feels safe. When the client tries to log in Traders Hub account portal, they feel safe when he or she log in by UAE Pass.
Yeah. It's like the ultimate stamp, right?
Exactly. And this process enhance also signing in and signing up for the account. Rather than username and password and all traditional style, now we have more digital, more safe to our client. And also acceptable documentation method for the government.
Yeah. My question would be, I go to Traders Hub. I'm a retail investor. There's institutional investors.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who invest. What is the numbers that you see on your website? Obviously, you have so much data coming in, people investing in different stuffs. What is the biggest asset people like to invest in? Because we recently saw gold going up, silver is going up. Is that the commodities is the bigger version, or it's like the indices that are bigger? Where are people investing in the UAE?
To be honest, currently we notice that all demand coming for gold, especially.
Oh, nice.
Especially now for federal rate and for the US, yeah, especially for gold, to be honest.
So gold is the biggest asset, I think.
Exactly.
People are investing
Yeah.
in. Nice, that's good.
Yeah.
Gold prices just went sky high. So yeah.
And I just wanted to add on, as the UAE positions itself as a global financial hub, what is Traders Hub their long vision for being in the UAE, and how would you say that collaborating with the UAE government has improved the business?
Yeah, for the UAE actually we have a plan now to expand our activities, because currently we are working in crypto and
nice.
CFDs also as well. For 2026, we will start working on portfolio management and fund management, which will provide to our client more facilitation for the activities, and which will enhance also Traders Hub position in the financial market.
Nice. You talked about crypto, and since now we should talk about crypto. Do you have all the cryptocurrencies? Do you have like the special ones? How much access do I get through Traders Hub to the cryptocurrencies?
For the Traders Hub, actually, we provide CFDs crypto, and we are one of the unique company who provide trading in crypto 24/7.
Nice.
24/7,
nice,
we have access to the international market.
Yeah.
Our client can execute the orders in fast execution without any issues.
Nice.
Yeah, for more than 500 products.
Nice. That's 500 is good.
Yeah.
Last question would be, I am and Worth, we want to go to Traders Hub. Take us through the journey. What do? We go to the website, we have an app. How do we make an account there and start trading?
Actually, it's our pleasure to be one of Traders Hub family, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, first of things, we send you the link for Traders Hub website. You can access our website through UAE Pass, through some sub. We have multiple methods, and you can just upload it, or the document.
The KYC process?
KYC that will take only 3 to 4 minutes
Nice.
maximum.
And then we're on.
Everything coming smoothly after account is approved. You can deposit instantly. And in the Traders Hub, we have multiple payment methods.
Oh, okay.
In the wire transfer, we have 4 of prestigious bank in the United Arab Emirates.
Nice.
First Abu Dhabi Bank, Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank, Emirates MBD, and Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank as well.
Nice. So I can deposit money and start trading.
Exactly. And we have also multiple payment solution, payment gateways like Checkout, like Network, and Sikrel, Neteller, and D24.
I think naturally a question follows, how do you compete with all the other players in the market? Like, do you compete on rates, how much you take? For example, Sarva has a fee of $1 on each trade. Sometimes if the trade is like higher than $600, $700, they charge some percentage. So how do you discern from them? Do you bring people on your platform through rates? Or do you think you provide a better service, quicker service? Because I think from your chat, it was like, oh, everything is so clean and smooth in 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
So what is your USP if you compete with other brands?
Actually, for Traders Hub, our first goal to keep our client satisfaction about our service.
Nice.
This is number one. And also, we every time ensure that we provide our client the multi-asset classes with the best prices in the market with the fast execution also. And of course, with competitive pricing.
Nice.
We need to keep a client happy for all areas.
Yeah.
And do you
so
have
much.
a final message for the Smashi Business audience?
I'm happy to be here today, and I'm very interested in Smashi Business actually. I see many before. I see many things before about Smashi Business. And I expect this business center will be one of the top in the, inshallah, around the world.
Inshallah.
We
Thank you
hope
so much.
You heard him right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. This is Smashi Business Show, a Smashi Business production under the Augustus Media Podcast Network. See you tomorrow.